Hello folks, this is Aditya from inspiredtorise.com and today we are going to unbox and review the Infocus M415 smartphone. So guys, without wasting much time, let's begin. So guys, this is the box for the Infocus M415 smartphone. Let's just see what the box itself looks like. This is what the box looks like. On the back we have the technical specifications etc. written for the device. So Infocus M415 quad core smartphone, 4.5 inch WVGA display, and other technical specifications written about the smartphone. And let's just unbox this thing to see what you get inside the box. So inside the box, this was the casing in which the battery was present. We just removed the battery from the casing and inserted it in the smartphone. So apart from these, what you get is the Infocus quick start guide, Infocus M415 quick start guide, wherein some instructions are written about the smartphone, and the smartphone itself looks like this, small sturdy design. Let's just check what else is inside the box. So inside the box you get a USB adapter and a micro USB to USB cable, nothing much fancy, and we have no headphones, so that's something bad. On a first glance we find out that the Infocus M415 smartphone comes with a nice plastic type of body, so that's aimed at youth, has bright neon colored bands on the side. On the top we have the 3.5mm jack on the right hand side and the micro USB port on one side. On the bottom we have small hole for the microphone. On the left hand side we have absolutely nothing, and on the right hand side we have the power button and the volume rocker all on one side, so that makes for easy use and ease of operation. On the front, this smartphone has a 5 megapixel front camera and a front facing flash, which is really good, and you have the Infocus branding. And on the back you have the 5 megapixel back camera and a flash and the Infocus branding again, and the small speaker grill on the bottom. So on opening it up, we get a 2000 mAh battery, which is removable battery,
a dual SIM slot, and you also get a separate micro SD card slot port, so that is something nice.
The device comes with a 4.5 inch WVGA display. 480 into 854 is the resolution for this display, and the color saturation of this display is good enough, but the overall brightness isn't that much, and when viewing it under direct sunlight it won't be that much visible, but it's visible and usable to some extent. Inside the hood, the Infocus M415 comes with the MediaTek MT6580 chipset, which is clocked in at 1.30 GHz, and it's a quad-core processor, and comes with Mali 400MP GPU, 1 GB of RAM, a 4.5-inch display, which is a WVGA display, 480 into 854 pixels, that's the resolution, and 8 GB of internal storage, out of which only 4.03 GB was available to us, so that's something bad. It comes with latest version of Android 6.0 Marshmallow, and it ran very smoothly on this device, so that's something good about it. And apart from this, the device comes with all of these sensors: accelerometer, proximity sensor, and light sensor, not much than that. The device scored 23,167 on the Antutu benchmark, which is a pretty low score, but it's okay for this smartphone. The device scored 357 on the single core and 1145 on the multi-core score on the Geekbench 3 benchmark, which is a pretty low score. It scored 6065 on the Quadrant standard test, which is also a low score. Surprisingly enough, day-to-day performance etc. was really smooth on this one. We installed the Google Now launcher, and then when we used the smartphone, it felt really smooth to use. Switching between the launcher and the home screen etc. and swiping between different screens was really smooth on this device after installing the Google Now launcher, and even before that also. Android Marshmallow on this device feels pretty solid, and it runs beautifully despite of the fact that this is not a really high-end smartphone. It is able to deliver a sufficient Android experience at this price point, which is a good thing in itself. We tried different types of USB OTG connectors, but we came to the final conclusion that this device does not support USB on the go. This is the maximum volume for this smartphone. It is sufficiently loud for hearing your calls and ringtone etc. But when you keep it on a flat surface, the volume does get muffled up a little bit. And apart from that, there is definitely a lack of bass on this smartphone. So the maximum that it goes is around 100 decibels, but still the low end is not present on this smartphone to a high extent. The device was able to play Asphalt 8 on high settings because of the fact that this is a very optimized experience, but still at some points we saw some lags etc. But overall experience still was pretty decent while playing Asphalt 8 even on high settings on this smartphone.
So guys, we used the Infocus Bingo 10 smartphone for more than a week, and during the course of our usage, we found out few important things about the smartphone. It has excellent battery life. Though this smartphone does not have too high battery on paper, but because of the fact that it has a 4.5-inch display and a WVGA resolution, the overall battery life did last a long time. And when we use the smartphone on an average usage, we found out 1.5 days of usage, and on heavy usage we got 1 day of usage, and on very minimal usage we got more than 2 days of usage on this smartphone, because of the fact that it comes with Android Marshmallow out of the box and battery saver features and those implemented on this smartphone. So the overall battery life did last for a very long time. It comes with front facing flash, which has a diffused flash, and a 5-megapixel front facing camera, which is very clear, very nice to shoot shots with even in low light conditions. The back camera is a 5-megapixel camera. It's not as clear as the front camera, so that's a con about this smartphone. When using this smartphone in day-to-day usage, applications etc. ran very flawlessly. The RAM management, multitasking etc. was really nice on this smartphone, despite of the fact that it has only 1 GB of RAM and 8 gigs of internal storage, out of which you only get around 5 gigs of free space. So that's a con about this smartphone. But apart from that, it comes with micro SD expandable storage, so that's something good for those people who are looking to expand their memory. It comes with dual SIM, and on one SIM we only have 2G options, so that's something bad about the smartphone. For a price of around 4,299 rupees, this smartphone is excellent value for money, though the build quality is something that leaves a lot to be desired because of the fact that it feels somewhat plasticky in hand. But the Infocus Bingo 10 M415 smartphone does deliver you superb value for money in the 4,299 rupees price range that it retails for. You get a nice smartphone which works well, which runs almost all of your applications nicely, comes with the latest, almost latest version of Android, and is a pleasure to use while using day to day. It also has few other cons, like the display does not have accurate color reproduction. The colors on some websites like Facebook and a lot of other things were not accurate, so that's something bad about the smartphone. But overall, it's a very good value for money proposition in case you are looking to buy your first budget Android smartphone. So guys, this was all for our Infocus Bingo 10 review. In case you liked this video, then don't forget to hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And these are all of the videos that we did in the past few days. Don't forget to check them all out. And guys, stay inspired to rise.